Yes, good morning class. My name is Mr. Sam. I'll be taking you economics. And today we are going to be looking at this topic called division of labor and specialization. Division of labor and specialization. Division of labor and specialization. This is a very interesting topic in economics that most students do not know. But I'm going to give a little story or background about this concept before we move into the topic itself. Most students do not understand what we mean by division of labor. While it has its advantages, it also has its disadvantages. And we said something. Division of labor gave birth to specialization. There's no way you talk about division of labor without talking about what? Specialization. Now, before we go into the definition proper for division of labor, the concept of division of labor was propounded by the concept of division of labor was propounded by Adam Smith, who is known to be the father of what? Economics. Now, how was this concept propounded by this man? How did he come with this concept of division of labor? Adam Smith was on a trip. Yes, he was traveling, he was on a trip. He saw a man producing pins, these office pins. And the stages involved in producing these pins, were 18 stages. This man was the only person doing the job of these 18 departments. Adam Smith was so surprised. He stood at a point and was looking at this man. He moves from one stage to another, from this stage to another. They are all 18 in numbers. It is when this man finishes the last stage, which is the 18th stage, that a particular pin will be produced. He took his time, because at that time, pin was marketable. It was a good that was on high demand. So he took his time watching this man. In the end, Adam Smith discovered and noticed that this man was only producing 20 pins in a day, because he was the only person taking responsibilities. All the tasks involved in these 18 stages or 18 departments, so to speak. So in the end, the man produces just 20 pins in a day. And Adam Smith now thought of something. What if I get home and site an industry where I can be producing these pins and employ people to work in these 18 stages? I should be able to make more than 20 pins in a day. So he put it into test. He got to, he started an industry. He got everything he needed to produce these pins. Employed 18 people to work in these 18 stages, 18 departments rather. In the end, he ended up producing 48,000 pins per day. 48,000 pins per day as against 20 pins. Can you read that? That was where the concept of division of labor set in. He now understands well that when many people are involved in doing a particular kind of job, it helps to increase the outputs. The results gotten from such production processes will be huge. So Adam Smith now discovered, so because he employed 18 people to work in these 18 stages, he was able to produce 48,000. You can see the difference between 48,000 pins a day as against 20 pins. The disparity between the two is just too much. So we encourage many industries, businesses, to take to this particular thing. That was why you see today, many businesses today we see, they are growing at an alarming rate because the owner of such business is not the only person overseeing everything in the business. Unlike a sole proprietorship business, we're not talking about sole proprietorship business now. Are we there? Go to companies, corporate organizations, go to industries, you see people engaging in one particular activity or the other. For example, if you go to this soft drink company, have you been to 7-Up bottling company before? If you have been there, you know what I'm talking about. You see the stages involved in producing this 7-up. There is a particular stage, a machine for one particular part of that particular product. The cork, the liquid, even the trademark and all stuff. These things are handled by different people, different machines. These people working in these industries are working for one particular goal. Now, do we not say that this man that is overseeing all the activities in this 18th stage, do we say the man is too greedy? Maybe he doesn't want to employ people because he doesn't want to spend more. Some persons are like that. We are not saying that all businesses today engage these people to work. There are some businesses today, the owner of the business may like to will give job meant for 5 people to only 2 people because he doesn't want to pay. He doesn't want to spend more. Forgetting the fact that the more he employs, if these people he has employed in doing this job, they are giving their best. If their services are quality enough, he himself will also get it in return because there will be increase in the level of output. Once the level of output is increased, there is every possibility for him to have an increase in income. So that was how this man got to this particular stage. 48,000 pins as against 20 pins. So, coming back to the definition for division of labor, division of labor can simply be defined as the sharing of job. The sharing of job to group of people or individuals or group of workers. Now, looking at the advantages now of division of labor. Advantages of division of labor. Advantages of division of labor. 1. It saves time. It saves time and what? Energy. It saves time and energy. Yes. That one is very, very clear. Just like in a household where you have the father, in a nuclear family rather, where you have the father, the mother, the children. You see that, for example, if the mother wants to cook in the kitchen, he engages the services the assistance of the children. One person might be slicing the onions, tomatoes or whatever. Another person will be probably grinding pepper and stuff like that. But if the mother is the only person involved in doing everything, that food the mother is cooking will not be cooking or tender or ready. But if he engages the children, everything will be done so fast. So one of the advantages of division of labor, it saves time and what? Energy. 2, it increases level of output or production. It increases level of output or what? Production. You can see what we are saying. Going back to what this man did, it was when Adam Smith engages 18 people in these 18 stages, producing this pin, that he was able to record 48,000 pins in a day. So, when we say it increases the level of output or production, this is another advantage of division of labor. It increases level of output or production. Then 3, it increases incomes of both the employer and the employee. Both the employer and the employees. What do I mean by this when I put this in? The employer and the employees. I just want you to get it so straight. You don't get it confused. Now there are some companies you go to today, they will give you targets. Maybe a producing company anyway, or a producing firm, as the case may be. Now the employer might just come in one day and say, okay, maybe he wants to motivate his employees or his workers. If you can produce 100 bags of cement today, each of you will go home with 5,000 naira, not part of your salary. What do you think will happen? What do you think will happen if an employer walks in where his employees are seated or positioned in doing their job for that day, and the employer knows that he has never gotten that particular man talking about having 100 bags of cement each day. Is that they produce maybe 50, 60, 70, or highest 80? But today, the man walks in and says, okay, if you can produce 100 bags of cement today, each of you walks home with 5,000 naira. What do you think will happen? Everybody will say try. Am I correct? Everybody say try. Everybody wants to work passionately. They want to work passionately with all the strength they have because a particular price has been placed on it. 5,000 naira. It's a way of motivating you. I don't know whether you understand. It's not part of your salary. So that's why we say it increases your income. This person might be doing it maybe once in a week or probably 2 times in a week. And if the employee are able to get to that mark, imagine 2 times in a week, that means in a month is 8 times, right? 100 bags of cement, and these people are able to get to this mark, 100 bags, and they are getting for 5,000 naira, which means each of the workers will go home, apart from his salary. If the person's salary is 30,000 naira, and you are being given 5,000 naira, how many times are they giving 30,000 naira? 2 times in a week, how many times in a month? That's 8 times, I mean. Now 8 times 5 will give you how much? 40,000. I don't know whether you understand. 2 times in a week, 5,000, that's 10,000 naira. 2 times in a week for the second week, that's 10,000. The third week, 10,000, that's 30,000. The fourth week, 10,000, that's 40,000. And this person is earning 30,000, which means at the end of the month, the person is going on. I mean, the person must have recorded how much? 70,000 naira. So, one of the advantages of division of labor, it increases your incomes of both the employer and the employees. Then number 4, it encourages creativity and innovation, getting exposed to new things, new skills. You apply new skills in doing a particular job you are known for. Maybe you are expected to do this job this way, you have been doing it this way, but an idea came up. You just, okay, let me try this particular idea. You did it and it worked. It looks better, and maybe that idea that came up was probably embraced by your employer. You get a nod for that. Your employer likes this particular thing you have just done. It makes you happy. So, one of the advantages of division of labor, it encourages your creativity and what? Innovation. It encourages your creativity and innovation. Then number 5, it improves one's skills. It improves one's skill in doing a particular kind of job. It improves one's skill in doing a particular kind of job. In this organization, you are known to be doing a particular kind of job because you are doing it every day. Your skill in doing such type of job will increase, will improve. You get better and better every day. Are we there now? You get better and better every day. Now, while we talk about advantages, let's quickly go straight to disadvantages of division of labor. When I mentioned this in one of my classes, so a student was asking me, do we have any disadvantages for division of labor? I said, yes, we do. Why not? What are the disadvantages of division of labor? One of the disadvantages of division of labor. Disadvantages of division of labor. Wow. It makes work look uninteresting. It makes work look uninteresting. It makes work look uninteresting. Why do you say it's a disadvantage? It's a disadvantage because you are doing a particular job every day. At a point you get tired of it. You no longer have that interest in it. Because it's that particular thing you are doing. You are not exposed to other things. You are not exposed to other tasks. When you get to your work today, this is what you are going to do. So the work is somehow uninteresting. Then number two, overcrowdiness. Overcrowdiness of workers. Overcrowdiness of workers. When too many persons are involved in doing a particular job, it leads to overcrowdiness. And for that reason, such environments may not be conducive enough for production. Or such environment may not be conducive enough for quality production because there are too many persons. That's why sometimes you see some organizations today, when they discover that they have too many staffs or too many workers, they lay some of them off. Probably because they are too much, or two, maybe the organization is now finding it so difficult to pay. So they don't want to owe anybody. Instead of them owing, they'll just lay some off because they cannot pay. Maybe they are having some kind of internal financial problems. So overcrowdiness of workers is also a disadvantage of division of labor. Overcrowdiness is also a disadvantage of division of labor. Then three, it sometimes leads to the production. Sometimes it leads to the production of substandard goods. Sometimes it leads to the production of substandard goods. That is less quality goods. Sometimes it leads to the production of what? Substandard goods. When there are too many persons. Some persons will be doing the work, they won't even do the work passionately. Are we there? Then four, it encourages factions. By workers. Encourages factions. What do I mean by factions? Because there are too many. Some group of workers create factions. This faction, this particular one, there might be 10 in one faction. Those that believe in the same ideology. And these factions sometimes leads toward destruction. For that reason, the factions might have what we call rivalry. They begin to have this spirit of jealousy. It encourages factions by workers. Then 5, it encourages misunderstanding or conflicts. Amongst workers. Because there are too many. Now, this whole thing boils down at the second one where we say overcrowdiness. When there are too many, it might lead to misunderstanding or conflicts amongst workers. It might lead to what? Misunderstanding or conflicts amongst workers. Workers will quarrel. There are too many. Because everybody cannot behave the same way. There are some persons in an organization, some persons behave rationally, while some behave what? Irrationally. The way Mr. A will behave will be different from the way Mr. B will be. The way Mr. A will tolerate, Mr. B might not be able to tolerate. For that reason, there will be what we call misunderstanding. Why is it so? Because there are many. Are we there now? There are many. So all these are what disadvantages of division of labor. Let's quickly look at specialization quickly. Like I said earlier, the concept of division of labor gave birth to specialization. When we say specialization here talks about when one is what? A specialist or an expert in doing a particular kind of job. Specialization. When one is an expert or a specialist in doing a particular kind of job. And this specialization will always come because such person is involved in the thing that consists of division of labor. When you are doing a particular kind of job, every day this is what you are doing, you get better in it. Am I correct? Even when you are called, when you're not even ready, but because you have been doing that job for a very long time, you will still deliver. Are we getting that now? So specialization, when one is a specialist or an expert in doing a particular kind of job. Let's quickly look at advantages of specialization. Quickly. One, it increases labor skill. It increases labor what? Skills. It increases labor skills in doing a particular kind of job, in doing a particular what? Kind of job. Talked about this before. Kind of job. Kind of job. Two, it increases labor's income. It increases labor's income. How does this increase labor's income? When one is a specialist or an expert in doing a particular kind of job, such person can be contracted to do that same job in another organization. I don't know whether you understand what I'm saying. Do you get what I'm saying? It's just like, let's say for example, a footballer who plays for a particular team, but because his performance in that team is outstanding, other clubs will be willing to what? To sign him. Other clubs will be willing to have him for that outstanding what? Performances. Are we there now? Are we there? Number three. Still talking about advantage of specialization. Number three. It encourages innovation. It encourages innovation in labor's performance. It encourages innovation in labor's what? Performance. New things. Because you are a specialist, you may not sit using a particular type of what? Skill. You might decide to bring in new skill because you are good in doing that particular thing. You might decide to bring in this new one because the ones you have been using are now what? Obsolete or old. So you want to bring in new what? New idea in doing this job. For example, before the advent of machines for production, it was normally what? Manual. And when we use manual, then what happens? The level of output was reduced. But when machines were introduced, it increases the level of output. So we no longer use our hands in for production. We use what? Machines. Am I there? So it encourages what? Innovation in labor's what? Performance. Then number four, still talking about specialization. It encourages vast knowledge. It encourages vast knowledge in labor works. It encourages vast knowledge in labor works. Because you are good in this, you might decide to be good in other aspects. I don't know whether you get what I'm saying. I use a footballer as an example. Often at times we see somebody who plays as a defender. He plays very well as a defender. Then he moves to another club. He's now playing as a midfielder. Haven't you seen something like that before? And when he plays as a midfielder in another club, he plays very well. When he moves from that club, he might be used as a striker in another club because he has built himself in that. So, such is what we call vast knowledge in labor's work. Who can I even use as an example? Yes, let's use this man, Cristiano Ronaldo. Cristiano Ronaldo, when I remember, if I can remember him because I'm a lover of football, Cristiano Ronaldo was used as a winger in his days in Manchester United. But by the time he moved from Manchester United to other clubs, he's no longer playing from the wings. He plays as what? As a top man, that is a striker. Because he has built himself in that. It's not as if maybe presently if he's playing as a top striker does not mean I cannot play from the wings. I get what I'm saying? Because even while he was playing from the wings, he can score from there. But playing from the top as a top striker, he still scores more goals. He can even move from that club now to another club and be playing as a midfielder if he's comfortable with it, right? Good. So talking about disadvantages now, we're not talking much about disadvantages of specialization. Rather than talking about disadvantages, we talk about one, it makes labor work uninteresting. It makes labor work uninteresting. Labor work uninteresting because you are just doing a particular kind of job. I mean, you are a specialist in doing a particular kind of job. At a point, you no longer find it interesting because that is what you are. You know, there are some specialists, they don't diversify to other parts. They only remain in that particular thing they are doing. At a point, you get out of it. It's just like somebody eating one particular food every day. You get out of it. People say today, in present day Nigeria, that they like rice more than other food because rice is easy to prepare and it is sweet. I mean, but if you find yourself eating rice every day, at a point you get tired. I don't know whether you get what I'm saying. You get tired. So it makes labor work uninteresting. Two, it decreases labor's knowledge. It decreases labor's knowledge in other fields. Yes. One might be a specialist in doing a particular kind of job, but might not have the opportunity of moving to another field. So for that reason, it might be deprived, or it decreases his knowledge in doing other kind of job. It decreases labor's knowledge in doing other kind of job. Let's take the last one here. Under disadvantages of specialization. Let's take the last one. It decreases labor's income. Hence is not exposed. Hence he or she is not exposed. It's not exposed to other kind of job. Other what kind of job? Or fields. Other kind of job or fields. If it's not exposed to other kind of job or fields, the income it will be earning will be what? Will be reduced. Will be at a reduced part or form. Because it's doing a particular kind of job, they cannot move to that job, so he cannot get an increase in what? In income. All like what we said, if one is a specialist in doing a particular kind of job, he might render these services to company A and still do the same service to company B if he's allowed. Company C. Doing that, he will get what we call what? Accumulated what? Incomes. It means his incomes will be what? To increase. But in a situation whereby he is not given that opportunity, or he doesn't have that opportunity to move from that particular place he is to other places or other field, he might not get what we call what? An increased what? Income. So, I believe at this point, we all understood what we have just said briefly. On this, I believe there is no question. In the absence of no question, end this class. Thank you very much for listening.